1, 2, 3.
Welcome everyone to the Series Insider. It's been a long time since I've seen you guys.
Been a while.
Yeah.
Drew Xzono Jr., Tito McGee, I'm Jay Beaman. Let's dive right in. We got a lot of stuff to cover here. The Resurgence, 2015 PWCS champions. They defeat the Chaos Nation, thwart Casey Karrington's evil plan. However, it appears that something's in the works. We saw it immediately after the show in our reacts. We saw Casey Karrington, Greg Jovi discussing some sort of deal, and a couple weeks later, it came out. Casey Karrington sold his team to Dorian Victor, who is Gary Jay's father, apparently.
Something like that.
Who then traded Karrington and Adam Castor to the Ego Busters for Gary Jay. So now, the Agent of Chaos is in cahoots with Greg Jovi. I know what you think about both of them, so let's hear what your thoughts are on this move.
Well, from a business standpoint, I'm still trying to see what happened. I think Jovi was in a very emotional state after what happened between him and Makazi, but he's someone who always wants the gears turning, and he saw what happened early in the season with the Ego Busters, and the rivalry that they seemingly had throughout the course of the year with Chaos Nation coming in and trying to disrupt everything that Greg Jovi had built for, as he's a minority shareholder here. It really is surprising to me to see that. And of course, it's no secret that I'm not a fan of either one of them, and especially after Jovi showed his true colors, so to speak, after I had to eat my own words following Stage 3. So what I think the interesting thing in play here is that, what is Casey Karrington look for? Because again, that question goes back to, he wanted to inject chaos into PWCS. He failed. The Resurgence won, they're the champions, and again, so to speak, the heroes go home with the championship in tow. What's going to happen this year that allows Greg Jovi to get a step up again? Because he was dangerously close to that first championship in 2014. The two of them, I don't know what kind of chemistry they're going to have. They almost killed each other this year. So I'm not sure what has changed, but I think that will certainly play out in our first stage.
Tito.
I think it's a good business choice because you align snakes with snakes, and they're the snake in the grass, both of them. And as Casey Karrington will be dropping people on their heads, it could potentially make Greg Jovi raising that trophy. And this could be their year because you see Casey Karrington, he has no motives except to destroy. And when you destroy the competition, you become the leader and you become in favor, and that's what Greg Jovi wants. He wants to be in the lead, and he wants to win, and he's got that secret weapon.
I'm with you on this. I think this is it sounds crazy, and I know how things played out this year, but it seems like it's a good business move on Greg Jovi's part because, yes, he gives up Gary Jay, who's been outstanding in PWCS action. But look at the rest of his roster. He's had Danny Adams, who's had a lot of trouble getting on his feet. And then it's been a rotating cast of characters. Mikey McFinnigan, Zach Sawyers, Everett Connors. Just a rotating cast of characters. What he gains here is Adam Castor, who, outside of Makazi, on our roster, has the most experience out of anybody in PWCS. He's been wrestling since the early 2000s. So he gets a lot of experience there. And then Karrington also has a lot of experience, and he's already got a good PWCS win-loss record so far. So he picks up two very talented veterans, and now he's got those two backing Danny Adams, who has all the talent in the world. And I think together that's a very strong core. And we'll touch on this in a minute, but Greg Jovi also has the #1 draft pick.
Mm-hmm.
Just a final thought there. You're right, there is a core of experience, and this move might have been made more, as you explained, for Danny Adams than anyone else. He's been a head case since he's gotten here. He's clearly talented. He's a future championship material type of guy from a physical standpoint. But if they can figure out his mind, he becomes maybe an even bigger free agent pickup that comes out of this trade.
And I think, while it may have been manipulation on Greg Jovi's part, because he is definitely the master manipulator, what he told Karrington makes sense in their reacts together. The league forced Pierre Abernathy out as the captain of Team Anarchy. Since Chaos Nation did not win the championship, what was stopping them from forcing Casey Karrington out? This was a self-preservation move for Karrington. It keeps him in the league because now Jovi is in charge of his contract as opposed to Karrington controlling his own contractual status.
Right, and I guess we still have to see him weigh in. I'm very surprised that the PWCS board, and maybe that's now the influence of Jovi, has not suspended Karrington for his actions at this point, now that he is a contracted a wrestler with our company. So I think that's going to be the other curious thing, is Jovi using his political maneuvering to save Karrington, and then in effect getting Carrington's experience at the same time. There's a lot of layers to this onion that I think will continue to unravel as we head into 2016.